Next up, we're going to talk about Sydney Sweeney being on Saturday Night Live. She was the follow-up host on Saturday Night Live after they had Shane Gillis out the week before. If you didn't see anything from her, this is what you missed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am so happy to be here. My name is Sydney Sweeney. You might have seen me in Anyone But You or Euphoria. You definitely did not see me in Madam Web. But tonight, I'm excited for everyone to get to know the real me. I feel like people only see me as the girl on TV who screams, cries, and has sex. Sometimes it's all three at the same time.
Hey, can we buy you a car or something?
You guys are hilarious. See? Was that so hard? Oh.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard. Look, Shane Gillis is a crowd favorite. They brought him on there. Sydney Sweeney is... here's what I know about Sydney Sweeney. First of all, I've never seen anything she's been in. Hadn't seen Euphoria. Hadn't seen that romance, comedy, rom-com that she's been in. Definitely hadn't seen Madam Web. So I don't know anything about her. Here's what I do know. I know she's an it girl right now. She's one of the it girls that keeps getting a lot of jobs. She's a very attractive girl, no doubt about it. Beautiful girl, great assets, that God-given great assets. And she knows that both of these are true, and she's leaning into them. You know what? And there's nothing wrong with that. You may dislike it, may not be your thing, but if you think of other actresses like Scarlett Johansson, they leaned into it. Scarlett, for example, like I say, she leaned into it early on in her career. You see articles now saying that, some things are over-sexualized and she wished she wouldn't have done that, or she doesn't want to do this. Look, a lot of these, and Scarlett Johansson's still smoking hot. I'm not saying that she's aged out of her, attractive roles by any means, but, it's like, oh, well, I don't want it just to be about that. And I get that. I think Sydney Sweeney, from what I've heard, especially from, I think, Euphoria, I think she's supposed to be like a really, really good actress, which is why she keeps getting the jobs. But her looks aren't going to hurt, for sure. But she leans into it. And a lot of people, that makes them uncomfortable. We're going to talk about in a little bit how this was a victory for us or something. But I do think that it's good to see that Saturday Night Live is giving fans more of what they're used to from back in the day, or what they want. Shane Gillis is a crowd favorite. Why not have him on? Sydney Sweeney's an it girl right now, and she's an attractive girl. Why not have her on? A lot of the skits, that one that we saw, not just the opening, but the one skit that we saw was the Hooters one, leaned a lot to her sexuality. She didn't say no to it. She seems to be having fun with it. Look at all the outfits that she wears to all the red carpet events and everything. She definitely shows off her assets. She knows what she's got going for her. Look, Hollywood's a cutthroat business. You got to do what you got to do, right? Not a fan of the whole casting couch concept. But, people like to look at attractive people. No doubt about it. You go out there and watch a movie of superhero men even that are, out of shape. And I know ladies like Mark Ruffalo, but Mark Ruffalo's Mark Ruffalo. You compare him to a Chris Evans, a Chris Hemsworth, even Robert Downey Jr., one of the older guys on the crew. Phenomenal, looks great. All these guys are in tip-top, shape. There's like this weird double standard that women can't be sexualized or whatever, themselves. Here's how important it is to the audience to have something nice to look at. There's a show, or it used to be a show, called G4 TV. It was a gaming channel that was on TV, then it came back on the internet. And here's an example real quick. This right here is one of the hosts they brought on to G4 TV during their relaunch. She complained about the people in the chats not finding her attractive. She felt that was stupid. She mocked the fans and told them not to tune in to G4 TV. And then G4 TV was shut down within a year. I'm not saying that had anything to do with it, but this is what we saw before. This is Olivia Munn, a beautiful, fun, nerdy chick that appreciated her fan base. Like Sydney Sweeney and Scarlett, many others, she absolutely leaned into her appeal to her fan base, both on the nerd side and the fact that she's a smoking hot chick on a TV show. And granted, the audience is usually, or used to be back in the day, a bunch of nerds in our basements, not really, doing a whole lot. I didn't have a basement because I was poor, but you get the idea. All right, let's check out a couple of articles that talked about this. The Mary Sue, and no one is capable of having normal conversations about Sydney Sweeney. Let's see. Here she is. Spent over an hour scrolling through posts about Sydney Sweeney's SNL appearance on social media, and based on my findings, brainworms are a serious epidemic. Sydney Sweeney has 2 Emmy nominations under her belt and starring roles in a couple of recent commercial Hollywood releases, making her an extremely normal pick to host SNL over the weekend. Online, the conversations about Sweeney are anything but. Unsurprisingly, the majority of posts about her appearance on SNL have more to do with her physical appearance than with her performance. It's something that Sweeney herself would acknowledge, as she did in her SNL monologue, and gamely laugh off to let you know she's in on the joke. The joke being that she is both conventionally attractive, i.e. hot, facts, and a professional actor. And because having large breasts requires acknowledging them so that everyone, mostly heterosexual men, that's me, can shut up and move on, except that a lot of people are not shutting up about it. While Sweeney was experimenting with sketch comedy, playing a Gen Z social media savant, a server at Hooters, and a version of herself who lust after Bo and Yang, she was being adopted by far-right conservatives and straight-up fascists as their new mascot. These people are stupid. On the health site formerly known as Twitter, conservatives are hailing Sweeney's SNL hosting gig as a return to normalcy and a sign that society is ready to once again embrace traditional values. Some are less subtle than others in equating Sweeney's whiteness with traditional beauty, but the posts are all uniformly repulsive. I'm sorry, I don't care what color she is. That's a beautiful girl. Again, I'm not one of these guys out there posting all about her and using her in my thumbnails all the time, making nonstop videos. I watched one the other day, had her in the thumbnail, didn't even mention her once, but eye candy made me want to click on it. It's like, what's going on with her? I've got an episode coming up, I'm talking about her. Maybe I need an update on her. Nope, didn't mention her at all. I'm not one of those guys. And again, I'm not going to ogle over her. I mean, she's an attractive girl, but Hollywood's filled with them, right? I got one in the other room. Gorgeous woman. I don't need to look at these other women, but I'm going to acknowledge that she's a good looking girl. Hey, those guys in the superhero movies, I mean, I don't even understand why we keep having, sexiest man alive, as long as Matthew McConaughey, Ryan Reynolds, and, I can't think of the guy. Now I sound like a racist. It's like Shamar Moore. Is that his name? He was on the soap operas, and he was like on NCIS or CSI. God, I'm going to look like such a racist because I don't remember the black guy's name. Yeah, Shamar Moore. I know his name. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Not a racist. Not a racist. That's racist! No, it's not. I remembered his name. So, yeah, as long as those 3 guys, Ryan Reynolds, Matthew McConaughey, and Shamar Moore, as long as those guys are alive, I don't even understand why we keep juggling that to, sexiest man alive to other guys. I can acknowledge when there's an attractive guy. No problem. Beautiful women. I'm not going to waste my time on it. But these people right here are just so butthurt that somebody finds them attractive. Usually the people writing this kind of stuff are either, gay or ugly, or and I say ugly being that traditionally ugly. That may still be a terrible way to say it. I don't know the right way to say it, but someone who's jealous and they're going to play bully, and not bully to Sydney directly, because that would be wrong. They're going to bully the fans, the people that enjoyed watching her. I'll also say a couple things about this part right here. The far right, conservative, straight up fascist, all that is just gobbledygook talk from the left. It means nothing. It's word salad. You're going to hear that in some other talks about, boycotts of this and that and everything. It's just whatever to get you riled up. Don't listen to these people. They're effing idiots. All right. And then the return to normalcy by having Sweeney on, I hinted toward them giving the audience what they want. I have zero faith that they're going to do that going forward. I just think because she's an it girl right now and she's got some movies coming out and stuff, that's why she was pulled in. The return to normalcy is probably, for a lot of people in that regards, the fact that they're bringing on beautiful people. I don't know. I don't know who's saying that this is a return to normalcy. I think they're trying to bring people back that people want to see. Maybe. I'd watch a show with her on it. I'd watch a show with Shane Gillis on it. But, you know, a lot of these other people they bring on have no fan base. It's just their special guest or their host for them and their modern audience. Maybe that's where we're getting it from. I don't know. Moving on, when one verified user, self-proclaimed journalist, whose recent content consists of Michael Jackson, I don't know that word, and an appearance on Alex Jones's show, posted that Sweeney's SNL episode has some of the most views in recent history. Sure, but citations needed. That's not actually, I don't know about recent history. I did look that up real quick. It definitely hasn't had the most views in the recent future, I don't believe. Moving on, the conservatives weaponize this non-news as proof that what real American people want is hot white ladies with big honkers, not fat women, transgender, or circus freaks. Yeah. I mean, yeah, hot white ladies with big honkers. It's a lot easier to look at them for whatever it is, 30 minutes an hour, whatever SNL is anymore, than it is to see somebody parading around as a fat transgender circus freak, for sure. And I say that to say this, is that oftentimes, whether it's in movies or Saturday Night Live or whatever, when there is a fat transgender circus freak, they are used as the fat transgender circus freak. You know, kind of like Sydney Sweeney was used as the hot white lady with big honkers. You know, they're used for that. They have no more substance than that. And maybe Sydney Sweeney don't. I don't know. Like I said, I've heard she was a good actress. I don't know. So yeah, when they parade down your pronouns and your, you know, appearance and everything like that on one end, but not the other. But I think you get the idea. My nose is going to be redder and redder as the show goes on. Let's see if there's anything else to go through. I don't think there's anything else in this one that we need to read. We'll move on to this other article here. This is from Indy 100, Sexualized Sydney Sweeney SNL promos, prompt concern from fans. And I disagree with that. I don't think fans are the problem. I think it's maybe Saturday Night Live fans, which are completely different than like Sydney Sweeney fans or Shane Gillis fans. I can tell you that for sure. Saturday Night Live fans are not the same as Shane Gillis fans and vice versa. But we'll look at this for just a second here. And I think there's some tweets. So Sydney Sweeney's first time hosting Saturday Night Live. Of course, you're going to pop up on me. Saturday Night Live is already facing backlash from fans due to the promo ads for the episode focusing solely on her desirability. Well, that's because the promos properly promoted what she was going to be doing in the show. A lot of the sketches were around that, so it's fitting. The 26-year-old Euphoria star will host the show for the first time on March 2nd, but eyebrows have been raised about after two promos featuring the actor saw fans worry that the jokes will be misogynistic and sexualized. They were. The first scenes sees Sweeney bump into SNL cast member Michael Longfellow backstage. I don't even know who SNL has on there anymore. I don't even care. Here's some tweets though. And again, I'm on Twitter. You can find me. You can interact with me. But I'm still learning it because I'm old school. I know Facebook. I had a MySpace back in the day. Yeah. So bear with me. So I'm thinking this post is done first. And then this person responded to this. Y'all think I'm such an idiot right now if you hadn't already. Bear with me and be patient with me and help me. All right, so let's see. So they said Saturday Night Live, Sydney Sweeney hosts and music from Kate with music from Casey Musgraves. There's a little promo video there. I'm not going to play it. Hussein here says, challenge for SNL writers, have Sydney tell jokes that aren't just about her being hot, then speak to her other qualities as an actor in person. Come on, guys. Well, clearly this guy thinks she's hot, so whatever. Same thing. It's crucial to showcase Sydney's full range of talents beyond just her appearance by focusing solely on her looks. We're missing out on the depth and diversity she brings to the table. SNL has a wealth of comedic potential to draw from Sydney's acting chops. Man, I hope I remember the thing I'm thinking of right now because I've got a really good comeback to some of these. A lot of my fans are men, said Sydney Sweeney. That's so sad. Why? Why is that sad? And I think that's hers. I remember her saying how icky it was for her growing up with big boobs and being sexualized for it, and yet people still continue to sexualize her like no tomorrow. Well, yes, she's making a living doing that, to be fair, right? Do I feel like she's a victim? No. Does she appear to be leaning into it? Absolutely. I'm not going to go over, like I said, and ogle over her or anything like that. But I will say this to, which one was it? This one. Oh, so what's weird is hearing people, and I'll get this garbage off the screen. What's hearing people, and I'm going to say on the left, because it usually is on the left. And, you know, if it's the far right or fascists or whatever they want to call us that are appreciating this, it's going to be the liberal, socialist, Nazi, communist, whatever, left that just can't take a joke, doesn't like to have fun, wants everybody being as miserable as they are. This is their problem. They want to celebrate what they were talking about earlier, fat, transgender, circus freaks, whatever. They want to celebrate that, but they don't want to celebrate what's been normal, respected, appreciated for years. Now, I will say I hadn't seen Madam Web, but I seen promos for it. And in one of them, it was Sydney talking about being in her costume, which from my understanding, that's only like a brief flashback or something. So it's really disappointing that you have a superhero costume or a superhero movie and nobody's in a superhero costume. I don't know. But she's like doing her arm like this and pointing and doing all that. And she's like toned. She's like really, really in shape. You know, God may have gifted her, you know, certain assets that she gets to take advantage of, but that girl takes care of herself. So there's nothing wrong with celebrating someone who takes care of themselves inside and out, someone who is beautiful and attractive. I mean, we as a society have always done that and will always do that. And you seem to have a problem with it when we celebrate beauty and someone who works hard on themselves, going to the gym, eating right, taking care of themselves. But you want to celebrate those that you know, the body positivity movement, people that just are obese, out of shape. I mean, I'm overweight and out of shape, right? You know, we want to celebrate people that look, you know, the female version of this, or maybe this if I'm trans, I don't know. But we can't celebrate that. Come on, guys. You guys aren't playing fair. You're not even playing by your own rules. You know, I don't know what their ratio is for writers on Saturday Night Live, male to female. I hadn't watched it in years, but I will say that some of the skits, some of the jokes, it reminded me of this one particular setup in Weekend Update with arguably one of the greatest comedic actors to ever be on Saturday Night Live, one of my favorite comedians of all time. I'm going to turn it over to him to tell you the joke. One of my favorites. Take it away, Norm.
Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you? No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.